There was little Jeffrey Epstein wouldn't do to satisfy his for young women and girls. He spent millions masterminding a worldwide trafficking operation.
You're taught that predators are old men in alleys. You're not told that a friend, a socialite, a woman can be a predator too.
The Ellen situation.
Yeah.
You know, people found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a bitch. And everybody, whoa,
Yeah.
can't believe it. And she lost everything. She fell apart.
Ghislaine Maxwell is speaking from prison, and her statements could implicate more prominent figures. Reports suggest Maxwell may be disclosing information that could expose alleged associates of Epstein who have stayed out of the public eye, including Ellen DeGeneres. Maxwell is reportedly revealing details about attempts to silence victims, how the network functioned, who was shielded and who was harmed. The most recent release of Epstein-related documents has surfaced disturbing claims involving several well-known public figures. Ellen's name reportedly comes up multiple times in newly released investigative materials, pointing to a closer involvement than was previously understood. So what did Ellen know? When did she know it? And how much is Maxwell prepared to reveal in order to protect herself?
As people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, was like, she's a piece of shit. And he was like, she's a monster.
Jeffrey Epstein's name became associated with power and a dark world of abuse and exploitation beneath the polished surface of wealth, and celebrity survivors have stepped forward to expose the disturbing reality of what took place within Epstein's circle. Now one of his closest associates is reportedly disclosing information about individuals who allegedly helped him build his network. Ghislaine Maxwell is said to be sharing Epstein's secrets from behind bars, possibly in exchange for a reduced sentence or her freedom. In return, she is reportedly providing names, and one name that keeps coming up is Ellen DeGeneres.
You're telling me it was right in front of our eyes this entire time? We all know her name was all over those files, but here's where things get weird. Because on one of her final episodes, she basically said everything she needed to say.
Now,
Ellen DeGeneres has reportedly been named in the Epstein documents, appearing in a broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals connected to Epstein's network. These references include flight logs, communications, third-party interviews, and peripheral records. If these rumors hold truth, Ellen may allegedly be among those linked to the notorious Lolita Express. Epstein's wealth was widely known, but attention is now turning to his private fleet of aircraft. The Lolita Express became a symbol of the abuse that took place in the air. Survivors have stated that what happened on those planes was no different from the abuse that occurred in Epstein's properties and on his private island. The abuse was described as constant and widespread. One survivor recounted that the majority of time spent on the planes involved abuse. Reports indicate that Epstein could not endure even a short flight without engaging in criminal acts, underlining the deeply disturbing nature of his behavior. One survivor described feeling completely powerless, trapped in an environment where those with authority could act without consequence, leaving her feeling lost and vulnerable. The world Epstein constructed was one of extreme wealth and influence, but underneath that exterior existed a completely different and darker reality. Money, it appeared, purchased not only luxury but also the ability to harm others without facing accountability. A survivor expressed deep anger and disbelief at how far people were willing to go to allow such crimes to continue. She stressed that wealth carries responsibility and should never be used as protection for committing serious harm against others. Now Ghislaine Maxwell is allegedly prepared to name those involved. Who else traveled on that plane? Who else had knowledge? Who else played a role? And was Ellen DeGeneres among them?
Everything that happened on the Lolita Express and his other planes was the same thing that happened in his bedrooms, in the massage rooms, on the beach, wherever we were. They did not stop because we're in the air. 95% of the time, there was always involved. Jeffrey couldn't take a 2-hour flight without having to ejaculate. Like, that's how sick this man was.
How did you live every day? How did you get on board that plane? How did you live knowing you're going off to New York or to the island or to wherever you were about to be trafficked to? You must have been a ball of dread and anxiety.
I was horrified, I was sad, I was angry.
Ellen's connection to Epstein's world does not appear to be as direct as that of figures like Prince Andrew. Although her name appears multiple times in the Epstein files, she has not been implicated in any wrongdoing. According to those familiar with the industry, this may have been intentional. Some are speculating that more damaging and incriminating information regarding Ellen may still be contained within the redacted portions of the files pages the Department of Justice has not yet fully made Public at this point. What connects Ellen to all of this is largely rumors and off-the-record statements from anonymous insiders. This situation is not helping matters because the longer those pages remain redacted, the more online theories continue to grow. One of the most widely discussed theories is Pizzagate, a conspiracy that spread rapidly online with internet users claiming that certain celebrities and powerful individuals used coded language in public settings despite being repeatedly dismissed and debunked by authorities and investigators. The theory has continued to circulate. Ellen DeGeneres has frequently been linked to pizza-related moments, ordering pizza during award shows, hosting pizza parties on her talk show, and making pizza-related jokes. Celebrity guests including Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler have also referenced Ellen's pizza gatherings, which has added to the speculation. One particularly noted moment was Ellen distributing pizza to celebrities during the Academy Awards, which some have since revisited as a potentially symbolic act. Coincidence or
because I have this crazy idea that I will order pizza, and so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison?
Turning the Oscars into an everyone's invited dinner party with dinner.
What do you think? Julia wants cheese. Who's your favorite movie star? They're here. Well, who do you want to talk to? Oh.
And then passing a very famous hat to pay the delivery guy.
What do you have, Harvey? 200?
200.
That's a start.
That's a start.
One moment that resurfaced online shows Ellen collecting money from the audience at the Oscars to order pizza, with contributions coming from Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and others. Many online commentators have pointed to this moment as significant given what later came to light about several individuals present. The internet has largely formed its own conclusions about what that moment represented, but the pizza connection is not the only thing drawing attention. Additional speculation has been fueled by claims that the set design of Ellen's talk show bears noticeable similarities to architectural features found on Epstein's island. Observers have pointed to resemblances in the furniture color choices, soft furnishings, palm trees, and window layouts. These comparisons have led some to suggest that Ellen's set may have drawn inspiration from Epstein's properties, implying a closer relationship than publicly acknowledged. If accurate, it would mean certain symbols were visible to millions of viewers every day for years, hiding in plain sight. Around the same period these theories gained momentum, Ellen's public image was already under pressure due to reports of a toxic work environment on her show. Former staff members described an atmosphere of fear, favoritism, and mistreatment. Some guests also recalled uncomfortable experiences with Ellen, which stood in sharp contrast to her on-screen image built around kindness that was her public identity, but accounts from behind the scenes suggested something quite different. These developments led many to look back at past moments from her show with fresh scrutiny. Online examination intensified, blending conspiracy theories with real-world allegations. The pizza theories, the set design comparisons, the workplace misconduct claims, and the Epstein files all began converging with Ellen at the center. What many people question is why Ghislaine Maxwell is allegedly speaking now. By most accounts, Maxwell has been receiving relatively comfortable treatment in prison, reportedly including specially prepared meals, after-hours exercise access, and a therapy dog. Maxwell is rumored to be exchanging useful information in return for these privileges, not out of remorse but as a transaction. According to a letter from Congressman Jamie Raskin to President Trump, a whistleblower alleges that Maxwell's favorable treatment is connected to her preparations for a commutation application. She is reportedly trying to either secure her release or at minimum improve her conditions. The question remains, what is she prepared to give up? How many names, and who is she willing to implicate? Sources claim Maxwell has named Ellen DeGeneres in her disclosures, connecting her to Epstein's inner circle and to efforts aimed at silencing victims. This raises the question of what has shifted. Why would Maxwell begin talking now when she has clearly been receiving special treatment? Something has changed. Either she wants something more significant or she fears something worse is coming. Three possibilities exist. First, she is seeking a better arrangement, a commutation, early release, or transfer to a lower security facility, trading names for freedom. Second, she may be acting out of fear, concerned about what else might surface or who might turn on her before she turns on them. Third, it could be revenge. Someone within Epstein's circle may have withdrawn financial support or protection, and Maxwell may now be responding accordingly. Whatever the motivation, the outcome remains the same. Names are being named, and Ellen DeGeneres is allegedly among them. The broader story of Epstein's private planes and his extensive network represents a deeply troubling chapter of exploitation made possible by wealth and enforced Silence the survivors who have come forward and built support communities represent the true courage at the heart of this story. Those who refuse to stay quiet. The allegations connecting Ellen DeGeneres to Jeffrey Epstein along with Maxwell's reported disclosures have generated significant controversy, from symbolic references to workplace misconduct to set design comparisons. The full picture remains complicated and layered as investigations continue and more information potentially surfaces. Several questions persist. Why did she sell her home? Why did her show conclude when it did? Why does her name keep appearing, and why has she avoided addressing these questions directly? Most importantly, what remains hidden within those sealed pages? What does Ghislaine Maxwell know, and what is she prepared to say? What are your thoughts on these claims? Do you believe there is substance behind the rumors, or do you see them as part of a broader conspiracy? The truth is still developing. The files remain sealed. The victims are still waiting, and the world is still watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Ellen was involved? Do you trust what Maxwell is allegedly saying? And do you think those redacted pages will ever be fully released?